Hey everyone, this week I've got one more from inside the house for you, and I've got a good reason for this one though. Stay tuned. Okay, so this week actually the video is brought to you by my cousin Josh, who is moving. Shout out to my cousin Josh. He is moving, and in the process he wanted to get rid of a bunch of fragrances that he didn't want to take with him. I think he's still got some, so I'm curious what he took with him. He did live behind me. I don't know, probably like 25, 30 fragrances. And I'm not gonna go through all of them, but I've kind of filtered out some of the more interesting ones here, and some of them I've smelled, some of them I haven't. So I'm just gonna hammer through them and give you my thoughts, and we will explore this haul together. So, a lot of this stuff looks like it's rack store finds. Let me pull my scent strips out there. A lot of rack store finds, but there are some here that I've wanted to pick up for some time that I have not. I think a great example of that is this very hailed cheapy gray flannel. So if you've spent any time at a Ross or a TJ Maxx or something like that, you have undoubtedly seen this one talked about, or I mean, you've seen it on the shelves there. And it's actually one that I've heard talked about quite a bit. Not super familiar with it myself, but figured, well, hey, great, now I don't have to buy it to smell it. So, gray flannel is very soapy. This seems like a very traditional masculine, sort of soapy, clean. There's a little bit of green there. So I'll say this, I think it's not a bad fragrance. But I think there are other fragrances I own that do this better. That being said, this is a good one. Like, it just kind of has that classic, you know, patches on the elbows sort of suit smell to it. So I like it. I think I'd probably rather wear something like the Floris 89 or Oud Mosaic from Banana Republic, but still nice to have as a reference. So that's gray flannel. Next up, one I haven't heard of before, and that is Man Abasan Intense. I'm not sure. I haven't heard of this one. I haven't seen it on the shelves there, so this is going to be a complete mystery to me. I have never smelled this one, so I don't know what this is. Funky bottle though. Wow, what a wild bottle. It's shaped like a throwing star or something, with like a little faux leather up top. No clue what I'm in for here. Let's find out. Atomizer's not amazing. Oops. Man, that is very light. This is a very light scent. It's not bad. This is like what I would call like a generic good scent. Like, this is the kind of thing, it's so light. It is so light. The sort of thing that you could wear in an office and not be offensive. The fact that it has intense in the name is funny to me though, because it's not intense. It's not at all unpleasant, but it doesn't really stand out to me. It's interesting. It's so light. I could barely smell it on the strip. The other thing I'll say too, obvious throat clearing here that you hear with every video, but this obviously could be different when it's not on skin, or when it's on a strip than it is on skin. So all of this could change. Any of these opinions could change once I've worn it. Next up, I have RSVP from Kenneth Cole. Never smelled this one. I don't think I've actually smelled any Kenneth Coles. I've seen like Kenneth Cole Black and stuff like that, but never picked them up. So this one is interesting. This is better than the last one. A little spicier, still kind of that like, yeah, this is like a good safe office scent, I feel like just a good standard masculine scent. It's not overpowering, it's not offensive, it's just very mass appealing. Exactly what you want from a fragrance like this, I think. Okay, next up is one that I have seen a million times, but I've never picked it up. I've never heard anyone talk about it either. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about it there. By the way, if you hear jingle jangling, it's just my little boy Paco, our cat, running around being a spaz. So this is Halston Z14. Halston Z14, new to me. Interesting bottle, shaped like a blood cell. Atomizer is really not good, but So this one feels more like it's moving in a barbershop sense. It's not quite there, but it's got kind of a little bit of the bay rum sort of thing going on. Some of those zingy spices. I think there's like some lemon zest sort of thing going on with this. This smells like kind of a vintage fragrance that's been modernized slightly. I actually would be interested to wear this one a little bit more. I don't think that it's anything really special, but I do think that it's more interesting than I thought it was going to be. And I think on skin it could be really interesting. It could also, like, this one's teetering. This can either really be pleasant or it can really go quickly towards like a cleaning solution. I'm not sure. There are citruses in here that I'm picking up that I do like. It's not bad. It's not bad. Okay, next up, we are going to do one that actually is close to my heart. And this is one of the two fragrances that my dad wore growing up. He wore Obsession by Calvin Klein, and he also wore Paul Sebastian. If you haven't smelled Paul Sebastian, this fragrance is great. I do know this one, and it's not just nostalgia. This is a great scent. This is a lot more of the bay rum, kind of more spicy, very classy. I feel like, I know I'm saying that because my father wore it, but this is like, this is a scent that I'm sure is fairly old. Like when let's look this up. When did this come out? Because I feel like it had to be the 60s or 70s. And it's a great scent. 79. So this came out in 1979. A lot of musks and lavenders is what it says online. I believe that. This smells like a very traditional masculine fragrance, but really great. Like it does, this one actually does to me smell timeless. It doesn't actually smell like, I'm not getting a huge dose of like memory nostalgia from it. But it just smells really good. It smells classy, clean, professional. Like this would be great for an office. Unoffensive, but it definitely smells masculine. It has a presence that's very nice. I like this one a lot. I'm actually gonna wear this one quite a bit. This is one of the ones that I wanted to pick up, and I've had it in my cart several times, and it's really inexpensive. I just have never pulled the trigger on it, but I do like it quite a bit. So that is one to check out if you haven't. A cheapie that is worth it looking into is Paul Sebastian. Okay, next up, I've got a pair of interesting fragrances here. I don't think you may have gotten these from a rack store, but I have a feeling, Paco, you are so loud with your bell. Anyway, he's just going crazy. These are Tokyo Milk. I've got two of them. I've got Pretty Rotten and Excess. I'll start with Pretty Rotten, which I'm fairly certain. I smelled this one because I was curious. Nice atomizer. This one's like an apple fragrance. Hi, Paco. So this one's an apple fragrance, and it is actually a fairly photorealistic apple, like that green apple. This one suffers from the fact that I worked in maintenance for so many years, because it does a really good job with the apple, but it does smell like a lot of Apple bathroom air fresheners to me, like the commercial ones. Which is a testament, I think, to those air fresheners, because those air fresheners usually, like, they can smell bad, but they have gotten a lot better. So it's not a knock against this. It's not that this smells like a bathroom, it's just that I have a weird association with it. But that being said, it is very nice. I do think that this kind of does stray towards a potpourri sort of smell. It's very apple, but from what the little that I researched about these guys, it looks like they design them so that you're supposed to layer them together, like multiple of their fragrances are supposed to go together. So this one's not bad at all. I don't know, like maybe I would wear this in the fall. It's just very apple. There's a lot going on with it as well. It's not just straight apple. It kind of has like a dusty, sort of leathery, not really leathery, but sort of a dusty book sort of aspect to it as well. That just makes me feel like fall. So it's more than just an apple, like it has a vibe with it. That's quite nice, I like it. It's kind of a little strange. I don't know if apple is the note for me when it's this prominent. That being said, it still smells very good. Okay, taking a look at Excess, which has an octopus on the front of it. This one's really interesting. So this to me did come across a little bit leathery, but also like dirty and dark. I don't actually know what, oh, okay, they actually have the notes right on it. Amber resin, oak bark, blood orange, and patchouli. I mean, I feel like that fits. It does have like a lot of dark, woodsy sort of elements to it. The resin makes sense. I don't pick up a ton of patchouli in this, but that's not to say it's not there. That could be giving kind of the earthy aspect to this one, so I'm not quite sure. That being said, these were both pleasant surprises. Never smelled anything from Tokyo Milk before, but I thought that was fun. All right, next up, we have a fragrance that I have another one from this house, but the only one that I'd smelled from this house was Halloween Man X, but now I just have Halloween, I think it's just Halloween Man, yeah. Halloween Man, all right, so let's see what Halloween Man is all about. Again, I haven't looked up notes on any of these, so these are just kind of going off of what I'm picking up. Right off the bat, I feel like I might like this more than Halloween Man X. So I feel like it has the cardamom of Halloween Man X. There's also kind of this woodsy pencil shavings that I'm getting from it as well. But it doesn't have that kind of coffee note that Halloween Man X has, and the coffee note to me in Halloween Man X comes across a little bit like coffee breath. So this one actually seems like it doesn't have that aspect to it. So I might like this one more. I might want to wear this one, especially after my video a few weeks ago on cardamom as a note. Sorry, I have a pet dog and a pet cat that are both going crazy right now. Maybe it doesn't have the lavender, maybe it's missing the coffee, and it's those notable things that I'm picking up on. But I do think just right off the bat, like first impressions, I think I like this more than Halloween Man X, which is funny because Halloween Man X is the one with all the hype. So I'm gonna investigate this one more. Halloween Man, smells pretty good. I'm now just grabbing these in order of interest, I think. So next up is going to be one that I actually do have the Eau de Parfum version of, but now I've got the Eau de Toilette version, and that is Mont Blanc Legend. So this one, you know, I think when I ordered the Parfum, I didn't know that I was getting the Parfum. I wanted to get this one because, again, this is one of the other ones where you get a little bit of hype on it. I believe this is Mont Blanc's version of Fierce from Abercrombie & Fitch, which seems about right. I don't know, so that DNA, the Fierce DNA was not one that ever really I had much association with. I don't think I really knew anyone who wore it, and I didn't wear it myself. I never really went into the store, so I don't have personally any associations with the DNA. My wife does. She's not a fan. But to me, because it's so lavender heavy, it just kind of smells like a lot of like Kirkland laundry soap uses lavender. So any fragrance that uses a lot of lavender, it kind of just reminds me of laundry soap. I certainly don't get like the dude with the six-pack like abs on the bottle that Abercrombie has, but it is not bad. To me, this is just like a super nice, clean fragrance. Not super remarkable. It's just a clean lavender. It's fine. It's fine. I don't think this is a DNA to chase. I think maybe 20 years ago it might have been. But it's just nothing, it's nothing that really sets my world on fire these days. Not a bad fragrance. just not the DNA I think that people once regarded it to be anymore. Okay, rounding out the top 3 here, I will grab one that I have. 2 other bottles, but the original I never had, and that is Dolce & Gabbana's Light Blue Eau de Toilette. So, I've smelled this a few times, like at Ulta's. I own Light Blue Forever and Light Blue Italian Love because I really love the grapefruit note there. This one, again, never really had any association with the original, never really smelled it much until recently. I will say it has grown on me. The first few times I smelled this, it kind of just didn't smell like anything to me, but now I do kind of pick up on those citruses. And smelling this one now actually kind of reminds me of the flanker that they just had, which was called Summer Vibes, I think. So I actually now, for the first time, I'm picking up kind of that DNA, because I don't think the light blue DNA is so present in Forever or Italian Love. But I do think that it is, the DNA that's in this is present in Summer Vibes. And I'm liking this more. I actually think that I'm picking up more on this DNA in the women's version of Summer Vibes than I am the men's version. But I also think if you were to smell them side by side, the women's, the Pour Femme of Summer Vibes is better than the Pour Homme. So this actually kind of reminds me of that. I like this more than the first time I smelled it. I'm looking forward to spring because I will definitely wear this a little bit more, kind of with my newfound appreciation for it. But yeah, no, this one was a pleasant surprise. I saw it and I'm like, oh, I've never really cared about light blue, but then I smelled it, and it has been several months since I smelled it last time, and I was like, oh, this is actually, you know what? All right, I'm into this. All right, second to last, one that I think might be a fan favorite, but again, don't really have much experience with the line, and that's Armani Code. And this is the original Eau de Toilette. And I'll tell you the batch number, because I know some people actually might care about that. If you want to look it up, it is 38L400. Again, I don't really know much about this line. I know people really care about reformulations, and this one was reformulated, repackaged. But I don't really, it's not really, office scents aren't big for my thing, so to me I smell this one and it's like a nice powdery, little bit spicy, soft, masculine fragrance. I can see this being like a good office scent. It doesn't speak to my personal tastes. So I know that there's a lot of people who really love this one, and I don't think it's a bad scent. But I think that it's not necessarily the kind of scent that I would wear on me personally. Just doesn't really excite me that much. And this is kind of a weird thing. I know everyone knows that fragrances are subjective, but it's thinking about these fragrances, smelling them, and going, oh no, I actually do appreciate the way that smells. I actually like the scent, but I don't think that it works for me and the general vibe that I have myself. And this is one of those great examples, because I do feel like this is a great scent. I actually could imagine it being very nice on, like, I have some people in mind that would wear this, and I think it would work out perfectly for them. It would match their personality. Just for some reason, this one doesn't feel like it matches my personality. So I do like this. I like it. I appreciate it. I'm gonna wear it some more, because as I've learned with countless other fragrances, you can definitely gain appreciation if you wear some stuff more. So I will definitely be doing that with this one. And but I am happy to have the opportunity. Grateful as always. Okay, so we are going to round it out with one that I think probably, I feel like I've seen that this draws a lot of ire from the community. Not familiar with it myself much, though again, I do own one of the other flankers, and that is YSL's, this has got one of those, this is just this L'Homme. Okay, so it's just L'Homme. I have Blue Electrique, and did a video about that one recently. I think it's interesting. I've heard people say that Blue Electrique is kind of just like a good version of the original. Which, did it supplant this one? Because can anyone tell me, is that like Is Blue Electric supposed to be like what this one originally smelled like? Because like with this one, do it again. It is decidedly weak compared to Blue Electric. But I do feel like I get some of the same DNA. Actually, there's some ways in which I feel like this one might be a little bit more to my liking than Blue Electric. I think I need to do them side by side to kind of get a better impression. But I think first impressions are pretty positive on this one for me. I don't think that it's earth-shattering. I don't think that it's, but this feels like a really nice, classy scent. And I gotta say, I think this has been the case with a lot of the male scents that YSL releases that I smell. I know they get a lot of flack. I think myself, the most recent one, gets a lot of flack for being generic smelling. But the thing that I feel like with them, with YSL, they do smell markedly different from the Sauvages, the Bleu de Chanels, which I think also smell fine. But I think that the YSLs are distinctive, at least from what I've smelled. And I don't feel like they get enough credit for that. I feel like they get lumped in as being this generic thing, and I don't think it's true. And while I think Blue Electric may be a higher quality fragrance than this one, I do like this, and I think the formulation is nice. So I'm interested to get to know it, to smell it, and learn about it a little bit more. But ultimately, I am tremendously grateful to my cousin Josh. Thank you again, Josh. This is such a generous thing that you've done for me here, and I can't wait to explore, learn about these and the other ones. There's a handful of other ones. I have some duplicates in there, so I'll probably do some giveaways at some point and share the wealth with you guys. But I appreciate it. Have you smelled any of these before? Have you seen these at the rack store and kind of passed over them like me and have been curious? Let me know. And this has been fun. Hopefully more people just give me random boxes of fragrances. Because yeah, I enjoy smelling them. But I appreciate it. Thank you for the time. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.